If we were meeting someone for the very first time who was just now starting to get a whiff that they wanted to be the deliberate creator of their own life experience and had just an inkling of an idea that it could be, this is the story that we would tell to them that we think would be the easiest for someone like that to hear. You are more than you know, but you've probably suspected that for a long time. But I mean, no, you are really, 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 really different than you know yourself to be. You're so much smarter and so much wiser, and you have so much more that you deserve. You have so much vibrational credentials and stuff saved up for you. There is so much good that you are entitled to. There is so much well-being that you were born knowing was yours. It's a legacy. It's gifts. It's a legacy of well-being that is huge. And I know you don't know it. I know you don't know it very well because things around you have made you think otherwise, but I know this about you. So if I were standing in your physical shoes, we would say to them, if we were standing in your physical shoes, if I were standing in your physical shoes, I would let myself hope for outrageously wonderful things to come to me. And I would test the universe. I would say, universe, if I'm so good, show me. If I'm so worthy, show me. If I'm so good, show me. If I am a blessed being, then let the blessings start pouring into my experience. If I'm wise, let me be smart. If I'm blessed, then I want to be happy. This is a story that we would tell to them. You just got to play this game a little bit differently than you've been playing it. And just the slightest little shift in understanding who you are. Now, as you listen and allow yourself to calibrate to who you really are, to that greater knowing, to that eternal knowing. And if you pick something up like, well, I think I'll meditate, I think I'll quiet my mind, I think I will just focus on the air conditioner for a little bit and see what happens, and see if I can feel some vibration moving within me, and see if I can feel any movement in my physical body. Maybe I'll just meditate and see what happens with that. And maybe I will segment intend. Maybe I will get out ahead of it just a little bit. So you do some exercises that cause you to release resistance. And when you do that, your vibration rises. And when your vibration rises, now you are in perfect concert with the flow of who you really are. And now your valve is wide open. And now what your inner being knows about this and that and this and that and this and that is known by you. So you find yourself daydreaming something, you find yourself having a thought about something, and you follow the thread of that good feeling thought, and then something happens. A result from that changed thought is noticed by you. So now this isn't just theory, it just isn't somebody else's opinion. This is you. This is you deliberately releasing resistance, and you deliberately raising vibration, and this is you experiencing the result of that. And now you know. You never go back from that knowing. It doesn't mean you apply it every time. It doesn't mean that you get it right where you want it to be the first crack of every box. That's not what we mean at all. But it does mean you have the knowledge of how it works because you have shown it to yourself. You've had negative thoughts and negative emotions, and you've seen where it's gone. You've deliberately found positive thoughts and positive emotions, and you've seen where it's gone. You are empowered with these laws of the universe, and you are supported by an enormous non-physical contingency that is there for you every time in every moment. So much so that as you begin moving through life with this deliberate intent, your moments are so full of this insight and this insight and this insight and this insight. It's not up and down and all around. It's not mostly bad and occasionally good. It's good and good and good and good. It's clear. It's fun. It's more. It's exhilarating. It's life. You get hooked on that, you see. It doesn't take very much for you to come back to who you really are. And you know why? Because you as you came into this experience, were calibrated to your goodness. You were calibrated to source energy. You are calibrated to love. You are calibrated to well-being. That's your natural default position. That's who you are. That's what you're calibrated to. And this other stuff you've learned along your physical trail does not mean diddly squat in comparison with that. It's easy to hook into that, and it's easy to maintain it now that you know what you know. We've loved every minute of this conversation today. We've appreciated everything that you've brought, whether you brought it with words or just thought it out there in the room. Things are so good for you, you don't even know how good they are, and we know because we've seen your vortices. So be easy about it. There's nothing that you should be doing that you're not doing. You can't get it wrong. Just take it easy and start having more fun and be nicer to yourself and anybody else you feel like being nicer to, but mostly be nicer to yourself. Be nicer to yourself. No more manipulating. No more trying to get people to respond to you. Calibrate to the whole of who you are. There is great love here for you. And for now, we are complete.